He knew exactly what that meant. A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant assassination. And it says it loud and clear. Now, he wasn't very competent, but he was competent enough to know what that meant. And he did it for a reason, and he was hit so hard. Because people like me, and they like what's happening with our country. Our country has become respected again, and all this. And he's calling for the assassination of the president.
Obviously, he apologized and said he doesn't.
Well, he
wasn't
apologized
calling
because
for violence. But
look, he's a very bad.
What do you want to see happen?
What
do you want to see happen?
I don't want to take a position on it because that's going to be up to Pam and all of the great people. But I will say this: I think it's a terrible thing, and when you add his history to that. If he had a clean history, he doesn't. He's a dirty cop. He's a dirty cop. And if he had a clean history, I could understand if there was a leniency. But I'm going to let them make that decision.
Good morning, Owasso. This is Chad with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. Well, as you saw there, Donald Trump is not happy about James Comey's little tweet, and I completely understand, and I'm here for it. Because the left has been always argues that the right is super violent, but they're the ones that call for violence on a regular basis. And again, we're talking like the group of people that were pro the BLM Summer of Love protests that burned down cities, had them take over entire city blocks. But, you know, one group of people on January 6th are insurrectionists and are the most evil thing that could have happened, even though the only people who died the day of January 6th were 2 Trump supporters. So, again, we're at a strange point in time in history that, you know, the left can completely call for violence openly and nothing ever happens to them. It's very strange. It's very strange. But we're going to get into this whole
He knew exactly what that
James
meant.
Comey 86-47 debacle. And there's a lot to get into, as you can see from the thumbnail that I've made. Comey threatens Trump. 86-47 little seashells that he put up on the whole beach, and he posted it to Twitter or X, and it just blew up the internet. So let's check this stuff out. There we go. So, yep. It says from Dan Scavino Jr., Comey truly is a POS. While he'll claim to not know what 8647 means, there's no doubt that the former disgraced FBI director knows exactly what he's doing. The plea to bad actors, terrorist assassinations of POTUS while traveling internationally. Don't let him get away with it. Yeah. It's like he is the FBI director. And he's supposed to deal with gang, mob, all sorts of stuff like this on a regular basis. He doesn't know what 86 means. It has a connotation with the mafia. You want us to believe that? Very strange. Very, very, very strange that he doesn't know what that means when he's the director of the FBI. You have to be absolutely insane to think that I had no clue what that meant. No clue at all. And he deleted the tweet. If you're not embarrassed about something, you don't delete it and try to hide evidence of it.
And Kash Patel, as we were coming to air, the new FBI director, one of Comey's successors, is saying that he is in touch with the Secret Service, and they are going to be sending Secret Service agents to talk to. This very serious topic is that James Comey wants us to believe, and we have this photo here, that he saw a cool, these are his words, cool shell formation on my beach walk. And the cool shell formation, according to the person who used to be in charge of the FBI, shows shells in the shape of 8647. 86 is common restaurant lingo, of course, for denying service to somebody. But after about 30 seconds of Googling, you can see that a good chunk of people all around the world also associate 86 with meaning to kill somebody. An old mob saying, basically, you take somebody 8 miles outside of town and then you put them 6 feet in the ground. James Comey Again, a guy who has prosecuted mobsters apparently had no idea that this was a thing. He deleted the original post with the cool shell formation, and he writes, I posted a picture earlier of some shells I saw today on a beach walk, which I assumed were a political message. I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, and I took the post down. That's not enough for Donald Trump Jr. He says, just James Comey casually calling for my dad to be murdered. This is who the Dem media worships. Demented. And Kash Patel, as we were coming to air, the new FBI director, one of Comey's successors, is saying that he is in touch with the Secret Service, and they are going to be sending Secret Service agents to talk to...
Good. Considering how they arrested people walking around on January 6th for just walking around and walking into a building, some people who had no clue that there was even a riot going on, this is a good thing. This needs to happen. Like, he openly called for this. James Comey needs to have his feet held to the fire. Let's see here. This next one's pretty good. Viva Fry, I can't stress this enough. If you think Comey 8647 incident is a non-issue, you are an idiot. If you deny Comey was making a threat, you are an idiot. A dishonest idiot. Instagram post immediately followed his picture. 8647 is the description, and let's read the rest. Find his picture reads as follows. Garcia believed Buchanan went too far beyond protection of the First Amendment when he signaled out his enemies by name, suggesting that something should be done about them. Is that not clear enough? Comey is literally telling you what he is doing.
These are his words. Cool shell formation on.
There we go. All right. Comey is literally telling you what he is doing, and people are somehow pretending it is not what he's doing. How stupid or dishonest can people possibly be? How stupid can they expect others to be? To pretend Comey was not doing exactly what he was clearly doing requires some childlike ignorance or democratic-like dishonesty. It was obviously brazen. Obviously, anybody denying it is either a moron or a liar or a combination of both. Comey should be charged and arrested. Let's see here. Yeah, Garcia believes Buchanan went too far beyond the protection of the First Amendment when he signaled out his enemies by name and suggested something should be done about them. His fans have obliged killing or grievously injuring some of his foes. And that's from James Comey's book. So when other people signal something like that's an arrestable offense, and he was clearly calling for action. Whereas if he does it, nope. I didn't even know what that meant. I'm just innocent. I'm just an innocent bystander here. So yeah, practice what you preach, buddy. This is literally your own words coming to bite you in the butt, and you're just pretending like that's what's going on here. Look, he had his little book and everything there too. Look at this. Yeah, look at that. What a tool. This dude knew exactly what he was doing, and anyone who says otherwise is a liar. Guaranteed. This is absolutely ridiculous. Let's see here what
should be held accountable. Like him, who issued direct threats against the President of the United States, essentially issuing a call to assassinate him, must be held accountable under the law.
Do you believe Comey should be in jail?
I do. Any other person with the position of influence that he has, people who take very seriously what a guy of his stature, his experience, and what the propaganda media has built him up to be, I'm very concerned for the president's life. We've already seen assassination attempts. I'm very concerned for his life. And James Comey, in my view, should be held accountable and put behind bars for this. Like him, who issued direct...
Yes, absolutely. The director of the FBI making political statements, a former director of the FBI making political statements about a newly elected president or a newly re-elected president. So he has literally shown his bias. And you wonder why. This is a deep state. Comey is literally deep state. He has been there for years, and he's trying to stay in power. And he finally gets the boot from the Trump administration, and he's attacking the Trump administration. I mean, that's petty. If you've been in a job for like 40, 50 plus years, you should be retired. Good Lord. That is absolutely ridiculous that he's still there. That is deep state. This is what we mean by deep state. People that have jobs in government positions that never leave. Never leave. That's what this is. That's who James Comey is. Check this one out. Patrick Bet-David. Yeah, I love Patrick Bet-David. You mean to tell me that as a former head of the FBI, Comey, you didn't know what 8647 means? Either you are incompetent, hate America, finally being honest about your motives, or all of the above. 100% agree with that. Nails it on the head. Again, you expect to tell me that I've said it already, but an FBI director had no clue what the connotation for the mafia of what 86 means. It's a little suspicious. That's what the FBI was originally like made for, was going after gangsters and mafioso types. Absolutely ridiculous. And then now he's got all the sycophants. This whole thing has got the whole Democratic Party touting this stuff now. All holding up signs that say 8647 now.
Lancaster Avenue. This is our protest.
Yeah. So the Democrats have responded in force, and that's just been blowing up the internet now. So I even have, here's this guy. This guy is a straight-up anti-Trumper, the Krasenstein twins, and they're two ex-personalities that all they do are Democratic shills. And they just repeat Democratic talking points. Yeah, check this out. Like, ooh, the FBI came to my house.
As some of you know, yesterday the Trump administration sent the Secret Service to my home.
With Lee County, this agent with Secret Service.
This is what happens in fascist governments. It's what dictators do.
And he can't say fascist. Fascist. Can't even speak properly.
In order to intimidate dissenters into keeping quiet. So let me explain exactly what the Trump administration did. It was a well-planned out strategy. For years, MAGA Republicans used the term 86 to call for the removal of Biden and others from office. 3 years ago, Jack Posobiec literally tweeted 8646, meaning get the 46th president, Joe Biden, out of office. They're literally still selling 8646 t-shirts on Amazon. But 2 days ago, things changed because former FBI Director James Comey posted this image on Instagram of shells writing out the number 8647, meaning get Trump out of office. And I posted the same thing using billiard balls. But then things drastically changed when Donald Trump Jr. tried to redefine the term and claim it means assassinate his father. I even went as far as to add on to my post to clarify that I'm 100% not calling for violence and I was calling for the removal of Trump from office. But then all of MAGA and many within the Trump administration start claiming that James Comey and I both called for Trump's assassination. And here's Jack again, who in 2022 literally tweeted 8646, claiming that 8647 means to assassinate Trump. But then the hammer really comes home when Donald Trump goes on Fox News and says this.
That meant assassination. And it says it loud and clear.
So then the Secret Service showed up at my house. This is fascism at its finest. They redefine the terms and then use those new definitions to go after dissenters and squash anybody that has an opinion different from Trump. They interrogate them, intimidate them, and hope that that intimidation stops them from making posts on social media. We need to vote out fascism in 2026.
He can't speak properly. It's absolutely hilarious. Oh, God. dude threatened Trump on purpose so this would happen, and that's 100% true. I believe that. What Tim Pool said right there, I completely believe that. They want this stuff to happen so that way they can campaign and get money donated to them. Like, oh, all the Democrats and left wingers are like, oh no, look, he's being oppressed. He's being oppressed. He's having his rights stripped away. Quick, send him money. That's all that was for. And then look right here, and then someone's like, is this you? Said Brian Krasenstein, calling for the assassination of a president is free speech. Is calling for the assassination of a president is not free speech. It's illegal. Okay. So you obviously don't practice what you do. These dudes there's always epic L's for the left every single time. It's like they do not practice what they preach anytime. Said here, and then we got another one right here. Hi, at FBI Secret Service, Morgan J. Freeman. Donald Trump, June 14th, 1946, to now would be a good time. 8647. Yeah. What do you think it means? That made it pretty dang clear what he's trying to convey there. So, yeah. This is what they want. This is what the left wants. The left loves violence. They always have. James, you were literally the FBI director. I posted earlier a picture of some shells I saw on the beach walk, which I assumed were a political message. I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down. No. You expect us to believe that. No one believes this. Like, he knew what this meant. It is absolutely ridiculous. Anyone that does not think otherwise is insane. And everybody on the left is pretending like this is a big deal now. It wasn't a big deal before, and this is the thing. The left uses things to their advantage all the time. When the right does something, it's completely evil and has to be stopped, and it's okay if the president sends people to their door. Like, this happened to people under Biden. Like, Biden had the FBI go track people down for posts. We've posted videos of it. Some lady in Stillwater for posting something had the FBI come visit her door. Wasn't a big deal then. But now, for whatever reason, it's a big deal when Trump does it. So if the left does it to the right, it's okay. But if the right does it to the left, not okay. Fascism. They're taking over. They're taking away our rights. That's what's going on here. It's absolutely ridiculous. But that's really all I wanted to talk about today, was just the hypocrisy of the left being with this whole James Comey 8647. And it's absolutely ridiculous what's going on with it. But that's really about all I've got for today. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that's really all I had for today. I'll play it out with this video that one of our viewers sent in, Pam. And that's about all I've got for today. But I'll catch you on the next one. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next one, everybody.
I've been dreaming for a long time. I've been dreaming for a long time. Hold on, thoughts that wasn't true. Hold on, thoughts that wasn't true. And now I'm going down the same road. And end up in a different place. Thought I was really going away. I was really just getting chased. And in times I would ask myself, do I really ever feel good for help? If I take a second not to understand, would I see that I was underhand, held down so I never ran? I tore it to the finish line, so here I am. I snacked on a rabbit's foot, gave it scared to 10. Call myself bugging out when I took that route. Up north was hell, never went down south. But now a nigga listen well, you just word of mouth. Cause the truth is the truth to turn bishop out. Wanted to be Pac, so I became an outlaw. And the next thing I know, y'all, it's our cause. So that hope fell, hoping that the world pick up. But death in my ear like your girl been up. Then I returned to my room, cell, war shut up.